Coming up on SBU TV, we take a look at the New York State primaries, and an April Fool's joke goes too far. Hello and welcome to SBU TV. I'm Natalie Kucko.
And I'm Brittany Slomba. The upcoming primaries in New York are turning out to have a larger impact on the Democratic race than many thought just a few months ago. Vinnie Bellardini has the details.
Senator Bernie Sanders' 13-point comeback win in Wisconsin over former Secretary Hillary Clinton was his 6th victory in the past 7 state primaries. Clinton still leads in the total delegate count 1749 to 1061. But much of her success comes from her high superdelegate count, which could end up being crucial in Sanders' attempt to sneak up and win the nomination.
The Democrats it's a little different because of this odd phenomenon of the superdelegates. And really, one thing that you just don't hear the media talking about is that all Bernie really has to do is stop her from getting 50% of the total delegates needed. If he goes into the convention trailing her somewhat, but having won most of the primaries and caucuses and having an enthusiasm level that people see, these superdelegates are going to make the decision about who gets the nomination.
Sanders was born and raised in Brooklyn, but still heads into New York the underdog to Clinton, who served as the state's senator from 2001 to 2009. Sanders currently trails her in the polls by more than 10 points. But the momentum is swinging in his favor once again.
In most of the states that he's won, he's been way behind in the polls until the last 2 or 3 weeks when the people start paying attention. And when they start paying attention and start looking at the candidates, they say, I like this Bernie guy. In Wisconsin, which he just won by 13 points yesterday, a month ago or so, he was down by 40 points.
Sanders has been able to gain massive support nationwide despite criticism of his identity as a democratic socialist. His rallies draw in crowds by the thousands, and he's been particularly popular among young voters, and not necessarily all Democrats.
A number of the people who came to our first couple of meetings said, I'm not really necessarily a Democrat, but I love Bernie, and that's why I'm here. And I would say that most of the people involved, practically all of the people who are involved in the College Democrats and coming to our meetings are Bernie Sanders supporters. And that's not because I've tried to find them, that's just because the national trend that young people are turned on to him.
Only time will tell if New York becomes the next state to feel the burn. For SBU TV, I'm Vinnie Bellardini.
Tuesday, April 19th is the date. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, make sure you get to the polls. Every vote is going to count.
Unfortunate political circumstances might be affecting the fate of the 2016 Olympics in Brazil. My report is next. There could be quite a few empty seats at the Olympic Games in Rio, Brazil this summer. With just 4 months until kickoff, the host city of the world-renowned sporting event is scrambling to boost ticket sales. Brazil is in the midst of a political upheaval and massive protests with a request to impeach its president. Not only that, its economy is also collapsing and suffering the worst recession in 25 years. These factors have threatened the Olympics, leading some to speculate about the consideration of another location for the Games. I spoke with Sister Elise Mora, one of St. Bonaventure's very own, who has connections through her work at a convent in Brazil. She opened up and reflected on her familiarity with the country.
As a council member then, I traveled to Brazil twice to conduct our congregational work. We referred to them as a province, and we're a province. So I was part of the general government of our congregation. And I came to love the sisters and to love the place.
Mora offered her insight into the political turmoil affecting the Olympics.
That would be an economical blow to the country because they've probably invested untold millions in getting everything ready.
With the hurtful recession forcing deep cuts to the event's budget, it is uncertain whether or not Rio will continue to be the site for the Olympics. Fans and spectators can only hope for a decision to be made before the torch is lit on August 5th. For SBU TV, I'm Natalie Kucko. St. Bonaventure is actively seeking to recruit Brazilian students to enroll in a variety of programs.
April Fool's is all fun and games, but did one company take their joke too far? This past week, Aerie, a lingerie and apparel store, announced that their hashtag AerieMan campaign on YouTube was an April Fool's joke. The hashtag AerieMan campaign is an offshoot of hashtag AerieReal, which does not retouch photos of their models, promoting body confidence. Many people took to the comments section, bashing the company for launching a campaign that turns untouched models into an April Fool's joke. YouTube user Aubrey Oliver stated that, quote, "It's really upsetting that this entire thing was an April Fool's joke. If this was done to women, our society would have flipped. Men deal with body image issues and unfortunately are unable to express their discomfort in the same way women do, in fear that they will not be taken seriously. For example, this ad." Madeleine Faircloth explains how people are overly sensitive and fail to find the humor in anything.
They have to make everything into a big problem, or else they have nothing to really talk about.
Anthony Sambrotto was not offended by the April Fool's campaign, explaining that everyone needs a good laugh now and then.
I was not offended by the ad. I thought it was a cool way to kind of show the difference between the standards that men and women have. And I think, all in all, it was a cool ad.
To view the entire ad, visit American Eagle Outfitters' YouTube channel.
A University of Texas student was murdered this week. Her college campus was traumatized. CNN's Andrew Spencer reports.
Haruka Weiser had planned to travel to Japan this summer to visit relatives. She had also hoped to get more involved in the pre-med program at the University of Texas at Austin. "We will forever miss her," her family said in a statement on Thursday. "The pain of our sudden and tragic loss is unfathomable."
Law enforcement is doing everything they can to bring the perpetrator of this heinous crime to justice.
Police now hope this surveillance footage will help them track down whoever killed Weiser. They don't know the name of this man seen in the video, but they consider him a suspect. They describe the man as about 6 feet tall and black. They say he was pushing a women's bike. It might have been pink, it might have been red.
We know that the public will step up as they do in every case and help us to identify who the suspect is.
With a killer at large, the signs of increased security UT Austin are clear.
Since they found the body, there have been a lot of police cars and police officers on bikes, on foot.
And students hope those steps can prevent more violence in the future.
I wish that there had been more security on campus, more lights on campus at night before this had happened.
Weiser's family wrote Thursday, "As we struggle to understand why she was killed, if her death can somehow make it safer for a young woman to walk home, if it will prevent another assault or murder, then at least we could find some meaning behind an otherwise senseless and tragic death." I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Everyone wants to be happier, but many may not realize their ways of thinking could be hurting this goal. Lian has the story.
Happiness. When some hear the word, they may think of their favorite song or dessert of choice. And while psychology professor Charles Walker says there's nothing wrong with occasionally indulging one's chocolate addiction, quick fixes are something to be mindful of.
Yeah, I worry that sometimes people substitute quick fixes for lifestyle changes that might in the long run be a lot better for them.
Instead, having a good balance of quick fixes and long-term improvement is important. And what works for one doesn't necessarily work for all. One trait that's universally related to well-being is optimism.
And thankfully for us, it can be learned. And just changing little aspects and just kind of taking a step back and looking at the picture as a whole instead of focusing on one thing. I found that helped me at least.
Optimists also understand the importance of social support. They don't withdraw. They ask for help.
And they overall have a mindset that the future is good. As somebody once put it, optimists will walk through hell because they know heaven's on the other side.
Some may think optimists are perseverant, but Walker says optimists actually give up quickly when they know a situation is hopeless.
But curiously enough, they don't quit in other senses. What they do is they just switch goals out.
Most importantly, people need to realize they have choices, and those choices can either increase or decrease their well-being. With SBU TV, I'm Lian.
Experts also suggest people focus on building their personal strengths rather than always focusing on improving their weaknesses.
With the mild winter just passed, workouts are moving outside. However, Inc. Young talked with Jackson Drapp this week about the new facilities at the Olean YMCA you might be missing.
In terms of our facilities here at the Olean Family YMCA, we have 2 crib fitness studios. Our other studio that you see, as well as our virtual fitness system. I think you have one of those at Bonaventure University too, where our members can just come and select the different workouts as they would like to do them. So it makes the group exercise almost as easy as treadmill or elliptical. You can do it as you want.
3 free complimentary appointments. You can sign them up. The first one is just to get to know the client, and you also get to know the facilities and also the personal trainer. And you get to pick who you want to work out with.
The gym takes pride in having everything that you need to reach your fitness goals. To my right, you have all the cardio. Right behind me, there's all the weightlifting programs. So even if you don't want a personal trainer and you know what your fitness goals are and you need to meet them, you can get them all done here at the local Y.
They have water aerobics in the pool. You can actually take swim lessons. We have the sauna, we have the steam room, it's also a jacuzzi.
Whether you're coming in here for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour for your workout, you're going to get the maximum results from that time.
Reporting for SBU TV, I'm Jackson Drapp.
The snow this weekend makes it even better to stay inside and work out where it's warm.
A mix of nerves and excitement, that's what many St. Bonaventure seniors feel as they prepare for the next chapter of their lives. Sarah Vaden reports.
Some people say that when one door closes, another opens. This is how many Bonaventure seniors feel with less than 50 days until graduation.
I have a job doing Big Four accounting at PricewaterhouseCoopers in Chicago. I'm really excited. It's kind of my dream job.
While some students, like Sebastian, have jobs to look forward to, others aren't so sure what lies ahead.
I'm nervous because I don't really know what to expect, but I'm also excited because it's a new chapter in my life.
I'm not scared of graduating. I know whatever happens afterwards is going to be good, and I'm excited for it. But I am going to miss Bonaventure. I think I'm ready for the part of my life where I have responsibilities and paychecks and a job. But it's going to be really weird not being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
After reflecting on his time here, Nick Konotopsky shares advice to freshmen for their years ahead.
Advice I'd give to freshmen, looking at least from me, I didn't really get involved in many campus activities until probably my junior year. So I would really highly encourage people when they first come in their freshman year to get involved, join as many clubs or groups or any other organizations that you can get involved in.
Some even share their favorite memories.
My favorite memory is last spring weekend when my team won the kickball championship.
So I really just want to cherish my last 50 days or so.
With SBU TV, this is Sarah Vaden.
For those at the end of the college experience, now is the time to make the most of every day. That'll do it for us here at SBU TV. I'm Brittany Slomba.
And I'm Natalie Kucko. Thanks for watching.